What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Welcome back to What's Happening Now, our look into the underground happenings. We got some news to talk about. Some things got announced. Quite a bit of things got announced, actually. The biggest one that I'm going to spend a decent amount of time on is the Gathering infomercial. Originally, I planned to record this video a couple days ago, but they finally came with a release date, if you will, for the infomercial. The infomercial actually came yesterday. I'm recording this on Monday the 29th. And as of today, the 29th, the timeline has been revealed. So we have everything we need to know about who's going to be at the Gathering. And prior to the infomercial, I was kind of watching it. I was going through trying to kind of pick up any of the artists that they haven't announced previously. And I don't think that there was a lot in the infomercial that they hadn't already previously released. The only one I can think of is maybe Dayton Family was the only one that they didn't make any kind of announcements for. They did announce the super famous Funtime guys are performing. That was a huge one. I was super excited to see that one. They had previously announced SON, and at the beginning of the year, the Long Live Evil Street team did like a little contest for people to go email them, to email the Gathering, that is, about having SON and super famous Funtime guys perform at the Gathering, and I did do that. So seeing that they are both booked for it is awesome. I think that that little campaign really paid off. I'd like to think that they did it on their own, but I think that that was a nudge, having so many people email them about that. So absolutely awesome to see both SON and super famous Funtime guys at the Gathering, and really cool to see super famous Funtime guys on the main stage. Little disappointed that the infomercial, they didn't even announce or didn't even mention SON. They didn't even mention Funtime. I guess it's something I can overlook, but going into that infomercial, that was who I was kind of excited to hear them talk about. I was like, yo, any minute they're going to talk about these guys, any minute. And then Fats Pepper was like, we are out of time. And I'm like, what? Not even a mention of SON or Funtime. It is what it is. I'm just happy to see them performing. It's really fucking awesome. And a little bit of extra salt on that wound is when they announced Funtime officially, they kind of lumped them up into a post. Really didn't go over them too much. It was kind of like they got a small little paragraph. They didn't get their own little spotlight. And the one that really surprised me was the fact that they didn't spotlight Darby O'Trill. He got announced, or he got mentioned in the infomercial, so he got his spotlight there. But I was surprised when they made the post and he just got that slight little mention. I'm like, you know, he's part of Chapter 17. Chapter 17 is Ouija's baby, and, you know, they're like really rubbing their elbows with Ouija. Ouija is obviously the last artist to ever be signed to Psychopathic Records. So it is what it is. I was super shocked, though, by that they didn't do a full post. I was like, damn, they kind of did Darby a little dirty there. But they did kind of make it up in the infomercial and actually properly spotlight him, you know. So I guess they redeemed him in that way. It was just a little shocking. So yeah, the lineup is fully here. I have it pulled up, but I cannot read it. And rather than sit here and make faces and squint for you guys to see me making all these faces, there's definitely some stuff on the timeline that interests me. And there's a lot of stuff that really doesn't. So I've more than once made the statement that there's like a 95% chance that Megs and I will not be there. That could possibly change. The Gathering hasn't come and went yet, but again, as of right now, we're not planning to go. It's a lot of money to go to the Gathering, so we're just kind of like really talking it over and you know, looking over and doing the research we need to, if we're even going to. So as of right now, it's still to this date, Megs and I won't be there. But again, you never know until the Gathering comes and goes. But yeah, a lot of great shit going on at the Gathering, and a lot of shit going on at the Gathering. I think the biggest things, obviously, Funtime interests me. SON interests me. We talked in the last episode about him doing the next Ritual. He's doing 3 total. So this will be the second one for his new album that will be dropping later this year. That's definitely going to be a highlight for sure. Funtime, of course. I just saw them at Camp Zool. It's the second time I've seen them ever. I would really love to see them at the Gathering on main stage. You know, the last time that they performed at the Gathering, I did a lot of reviews leading up to the Gathering, and I kept saying that I wanted to see people in the crowd with super soakers. And now I think that a lot of people should be out there with those little party poppers, the big ones that you can get, because Ever since they did it at Camp Zool, I feel like that's the proper way. Like if everyone in the crowd had those little poppers and that just started popping them and you had confetti flying everywhere, that would be so cool, so fun. So yeah, super excited to see the Fun Time's going to be there and SO1's going to be there. For me, the other thing that really stands out, because it was a big highlight from last year, is the Flow. It's the Flow Master rap battle that they do every year. Last year, the homie Chris from Deck Wendell entered super last minute. Like me, Keezy, Carver, Megs, and a few of our other homies, Coma and Shanzi, Gage was there. We were all there, and they were all at once. I think because it was right after the mystery seminar, which turned out to be the three-headed monster performance. Then they came on and said what was going to be next, and that was what it's going to be. And they like hit up Chris because, you know, Columbus is right there, and that's where he's from. They were like, you got to enter this thing. I think you could win this. So very last minute, Chris rushes to the gathering, enters the Flow Rap Master. I'm butchering the fuck out of that. He enters it super last minute and takes home the plaque. And it was for me and for Megs. I think Megs has said before that was a highlight for us to actually have a homie up on the stage that we could cheer for. Big highlight, and I would love to go see that again at this year's gathering, because as of right now, he's the reigning champion. So definitely know he's going to bring it again this year. I confidently think he's going to win, but you know, I know he's kind of had that approach of like he wants someone to come beat him because he wants to see people, you know, bring their A game. That's kind of his mentality with it, is he wants to see everyone bring it, you know what I mean? So he's okay with losing, which I love that energy. So that would definitely be a highlight for sure. I'm telling you right now, the homies from Deck Wendell, they've got some shit planned for the gathering. I don't want to say more than that. I shouldn't say more than that, but I know they've got some shit planned. So let that hype simmer, because the gathering is like 2.5 weeks away now. And I'm excited for what they have going for the gathering. Super excited for that. So yeah, the gathering lineup officially fully out. I know people have been asking for it. People have been saying, yo, we're getting so close. We don't even know who all is performing. There we have it. Everyone that is there is on the timeline. So you can head over to thejugglowgathering.com to go see the full timeline, which is full of flavor. And I'm sure there's something for everybody there. Moving on to the next thing, and this is probably going to be the main topic of this video. That's probably how I'm going to title it. I'm going to definitely have it in the title. But recently, and I think the most recent they announced this, let me take a look at 5 days ago. Twiztid announced, we're thrilled to announce that Twiztid is re-recording their classic hit, Rock the Dead. This epic remake will be available as a special 7-inch vinyl, but here's the catch. It's a weekend-only exclusive, but that's not all. We're also offering Twiztid's very first tour shirt from the legendary Rock the Dead tour years ago. This is your chance to grab a piece of history. Don't miss your chance to own these collector's items. Head over to mnestore.com tomorrow at 12 p.m. and secure your copies before they're gone. So this previous weekend, they had the 7-inch vinyl for Rock the Dead, Twiztid's version, up for pre-order. Now, what really caught my eye about this, and the picture that I have pulled up, and I may have it flashed here, I don't think this is the one that I saw. There was another one where in the original artwork, I think it might have been on the t-shirt. There was a t-shirt bundle that they had for this as well. It might have been that one. I just don't think I was on the right page. It's one of those like multi-picture posts on Instagram is where I'm at. But they were releasing a shirt as well, and if you compare it to the original shirt from back in the day, Monoxide had a Hatchet Man, and that Hatchet Man has been completely like scrubbed off. Understandably, they're going to take the Hatchet Man off. Like, that's water under the bridge. I've made plenty of videos in the past about, you know, how that bothered me, and it doesn't bother me anymore. It's kind of whatever. It's kind of weird to do that because, like, they're talking about owning a piece of history, but, you know, leaving out that part of it, I don't know. It's just been so weird every time that they've done that, because it's like, what? Anybody who knows Twiztid knows they came from Psychopathic, but that's not what I wanted to make this about. The thing that I wanted to really highlight about this that I found interesting, and the connection I made really quickly because I just watched it, started it, I didn't finish it, over on HBO Max. There's a documentary about Taylor Swift and how she's basically fighting for her masters. If you don't fully know, you can kind of look into it, but Taylor Swift has been re-recording her albums and re-releasing them as Taylor's version. Kind of like Twiztid's doing this Rock the Dead Twiztids version. She's re-recorded all of her music. Essentially what happened is the album, or not the album, the label that she released her album, or I think it's her first 5 albums through, was sold to, I gotta look up his name real quick. I'm gonna pull up this window. Scooter Braun, who used to be Kanye West's manager. And if you know anything about Taylor Swift or Kanye West, they actually have like a little bit of a feud going. Obviously, Kanye had interrupted her when she won, I think it was it the Grammys? Was it the MTV Music Awards? She won some kind of award back in 2009. He comes up, he's all like, oh, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce should have won this. You know, just disrespectful. That wouldn't have been the last time that he's done it. They've kind of had this back and forth before in the past where he's disrespected her, and they've just kind of had this little feud going. And Scooter Braun was Kanye's manager. I don't know if he still is or if that's an old relationship or what, but Scooter Braun purchased Big Machine Records, which is the company that put out Taylor Swift's first like 5 albums. So once he bought them, it was kind of for Taylor like, yo, these are my babies, and he has them. I know since then he's actually sold those masters to another company. So Taylor's kind of been doing this thing where she's gone back and re-recorded her albums and re-released them. That way she has the masters for these new ones. The original albums are still available to purchase, but she doesn't see... It's either that she doesn't see the revenue from that, or no, I'm sorry. When Scooter sold the masters, he still gets a percentage of album sales from that. And so Taylor Swift is re-recording them to basically try to cut him out from making money from her babies, if you will. Just because there is that bad blood there. Which makes me kind of wonder, doesn't she have a song called Bad Blood? Let's not get on a tangent. Let's get back to what this is all about. So I'm wondering what Twiztid's plan is here. Is Rock the Dead going to be the first thing that they release a Twiztid's version of? Because there are multiple albums that they didn't get the masters for. And I know this was a huge part of the beef. This was a huge part of the split back in 2017 was, you know, Violent J saying that they were kind of extorting them for masters. You know, they agreed to do The Gathering if they got a master. They would do the Dark Lotus album if they got a master, which I've made multiple videos about. I still wholeheartedly believe both parties are at fault. ICP were the ones that made that agreement. I just feel like everyone in that situation really made mistakes. Everyone did. I get Twiztid wanting to get their masters. I've let go of any ill feelings I had towards that because obviously they wanted to repress albums. ICP have run into issues with that when it came to Great Milenko, when it came to Amazing Jekyll Brothers, when it came to Riddlebox, when it came time to put the anniversary albums out, they had to try to get a hold of, I think, Def Jam. Is it Island? It's Def Jam that owns Island now, right? They had to try to get a hold of somebody to even get permission to re-release that album. And that's kind of a situation Twiztid was always going to run into. So I get it. On the same hand, like, you know, the way they went about it, water under the bridge. But now I'm wondering, are they planning to pull a Taylor Swift here and re-release albums? I think they're testing the water with this single. Maybe they're trying to see how well that does, if there's interest. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but as soon as I saw that Twiztid's version, I was like, it just happened to time out perfectly to me watching that documentary about Taylor Swift. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is what Taylor Swift's doing. She hasn't fully released all of her albums. She's, you know, it's still an ongoing thing with her. So, yeah, I saw that and I was like, I wonder, is that their next move? Which, you know, that's just going to spark up a whole bunch more of like, you know, the Twiztid hate bandwagon that there is out there. I don't know. I found it super duper interesting that they're doing this. Yeah, you know, I know Monoxide has been very vocal on his live streams that he's ready to focus on future projects. Obviously, a huge core of the fan base of the Juggalos love the psychopathic shit, but I've also seen a lot of people say that they're ready for Twiztid to focus on their new shit. So, you know, it's kind of, how do you make yourself happy? How do you make your fans happy? And I think the honest best answer is to just look forward. I think that's the best thing that they should do. I know that they've done several tours. They've teased another Freak Show tour, and they've done it before. I believe they've done 2 other anniversary tours for Freak Show. And Monoxide's been super vocal about saying he doesn't like doing those, and yet they continue to do them, which, you know, it's fan service on one hand, but if your heart's not in it, you know what I mean? Like, it's a moneymaker. I don't know. It's just, I think they should just focus on the future at this point. Wait for an anniversary. Like the Green Book show at Fright Fest was perfect. So when you hit major anniversaries, like 20-year anniversaries, I don't think 15 years is a justifiable anniversary, but 20 years is a big one. 30 years is a big one. So I think if they're going to do those anniversary shows or tours, wait for a good anniversary, do it like that, have a big shebang over it. But like, as far as your actual tours go, I say do the stuff that you want to do. And doing a lot of your newer material that you have is to me the best way. It might not sell tickets, attendance might be low, but ultimately it's got to be what makes you happy as a person. It shouldn't just be about like what's going to sell the best. So yeah. Yeah, Rock the Dead, Twiztid's version, The Weeknd's Come and Gone. I don't think that they sold out. I don't know that they did. But I've heard snippets of it. They've put a teaser up on Instagram. It sounds different. And in not this post, but in the one with the video snippet, they actually say that it was produced by Mikey Clark. Now, I know the original was produced by Mikey Clark, so I'm curious if they're just kind of putting that stamp on it and just saying that it's reworked. Because technically Mikey Clark produced it, but who remixed it? Did Mikey Clark remix it or not? And of course, that's got everybody then questioning, is ICP still going to be okay with Mikey Clark doing the 6th? I honestly feel like Mikey Clark's going to kind of be immune to that. I don't feel like ICP would shoot themselves in the foot over that. I don't think that they would not work with him because he worked with Twiztid, because like Juggalos really clamor for the return of Mikey Clark, just because a lot of Juggalos' favorite albums from ICP were produced by Mikey Clark. So I don't see him getting blacklisted, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, many of times. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about is Light has a new album coming out. Will be available November 15th, 2024. Available on all digital platforms and CD exclusively at monstarentertainment.com. I went to his website, and according to his Instagram post, physical pre-order bundles are available from now until then. But when I went to his website, I could not find it anywhere. So I know there's some people that didn't care for Light. I know there's some people that did really like Light. I'm one of the people that liked Light. His last album was really good. Psychopathic Monstar was really good. I'm super excited for Full Force. And I'm wondering where the hell Straight Jacket's Pink Coffin is. That's one that I'm really excited for. So seeing Light putting out his album is getting me a little bit excited that maybe we're getting a little bit closer to Straight Jacket putting his out, because that's one that I'm really hyped for, and I know he's been working on it. So this to me is a sign that Monstar Entertainment is getting those gears rolling. They put out the Monstar Click album last year, and then it went quiet, because I remember when they did promo for it, it was supposed to be like they were, you know, that was like their whole slogan for the Monstar Click was the game ain't safe. That was a single that they had, and that Monstar was going to come full force. And that's kind of what we got now with Light. So maybe this is the first step towards then Pink Coffin coming out. Maybe Project Born. I believe Project Born has one more album that they said they're going to put out, and then their plan is to retire. I believe I saw that somewhere. I think when the Bartle Boss had them on. when he did an interview with them. I'm pretty sure that was something that was said. It might not have been Project Born directly. Maybe it was just Frank Nitti that said he was retiring. That could be what it was. So, excited to see some more stuff from Monstar Entertainment. Absolutely enjoy Light's music, so I'm excited for Full Force. And the homie Stray actually posted on Facebook that he had a feature on here. And Light then responded and said that he killed it. And I've been fucking with Stray a lot lately. Cloudy Alibi is a fantastic album. He's been all over the last 2 Super Famous Funtime Guy albums. So Stray is somebody, like Chancellor Palpatine said in The Phantom Menace, I am watching his career with great interest, and everything he's been doing so far has been fan-fucking-tastic. So I am excited to hear that he's going to be on the new Light album. And it really makes me excited to know that there are underground artists that are fucking with Stray. Because Light, I never would have expected to see a Stray feature on a Light album. So, you know, my eyes and my thoughts are the next time Kung Fu Vampire puts out an album, will it feature Stray? Will eventually M&E artists be featuring Stray? I'm really excited for Stray and what's coming for him, because he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it. So, yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. The timeline is out. Full lineup revealed. Twiztids pulling a Taylor Swift. Are they going to go fully Taylor Swift, or are they just kind of doing it with singles? Time will tell. And of course, the homie Light has a brand new album coming out this November called Full Force. But tell me down below what you guys are excited for. What artists at the gathering are you pumped for? And is it Super Famous Funtime Guys and SON? If not, and you are heading to the gathering, make sure you check out both of their sets. Especially that SON one, because it's the next ritual, and he's getting ready for King Umbra, the Bastard Son, and that is going to be a set I don't think you're going to want to miss. There's some theatrics involved with it. The first ritual was at Camp Zool, the next one is at the gathering, and then the final one, I have to assume, is going to be a Samhain ceremony / Night of the Zooligans. But make sure you check out that SON performance, because it's going to be interesting for sure. Anyway, tell me down below what you guys think about the lineup. What do you guys think about Twiztid's version of Rock the Dead? Do you think that they'll go full on and re-record albums? Remember to keep your thoughts and opinions as respectful as you can, because I know Twiztid's a touchy subject. Just be respectful. That's all I ever ask, is be respectful. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.